and welcome to another Tuesday evening lesson. We hope you're all well. I'm just checking my microphone. Sorry, don't mean to fidget. I hope you guys are all doing well. In any case, we're carrying on. Hello to you too, Anthony.
Hello.
By the way.
How's it going?
Good, you know.
Another beautiful day.
Another busy day, beautiful day, full on from morning to evening. Now, today we're going to carry on in our preparation for the Congress. As you know, the Congress is from the 22nd, not the 22nd, 20th, right? Because on the 20th is a Friday, if I'm not mistaken. And Friday, Saturday, we've got the Desert Congress for 2 days.
Desert Congress for 2 days, and then we come back for a couple days. And then
we've got 25, 26, 27. We've got 3 days of the big Congress coming up. Okay, so exciting news. Right, and we're all wanting to prepare for this. So preparation is everything. So in order to prepare, as you know, we did a few lessons before. We did 2 lessons on how to do a workshop, how to attend a workshop during a Congress. So if you're coming to the Congress or if you're meeting up with your local friends, you know how to coordinate and how to make a round table conversation or a workshop conversation. And then, second of all, last week, we had a look at the purpose of society. Okay, so why are we studying Kabbalah? What's the purpose of our group? Why are we studying in this way? What do we want to achieve through our study? So all these things, why we gathered and who we are and what we need to do together are some of the things we covered last week. Now this week is another important topic. This is a short article I've got here today, and it's called "They Helped Everyone His Friend." So we're going to read from Rabash, Social Writings. Okay, you can find this book, Rabash, Social Writings, the Social Writings of Rabash. Okay, you can find it on the internet on our website as well. All the articles here are also on the website. You can also find them on KabbalahMedia.info. Okay, KabbalahMedia.info. You can find all the articles there. So today, this is a really short article. It's only half a page, but we need to understand how we can help each other out during the study. So what we have to do is to make sure how we can help each other out, because a group of Kabbalists work together in order to connect, in order to build this connection between themselves, and the special connection is done with a dot in the heart. So a Kabbalistic group, let's say, are a group of people who have a dot in the heart and who want to make a special connection in which that connection, specifically in the sensation of the connection between them, they can actually feel the Creator and His attributes and His actions upon creation. And because that is the purpose of our goal, we need to have a special approach to the study. And Rabash's social articles give us exactly that. How we need to connect, how we need to approach each other, how we need to study together. So this article, "They Helped Everyone His Friend," in short means how can each of us help the other while we're all on the path trying to attain the Creator. Okay. Now, as usual, if you have any questions, you can ask them. Last week we had a few good questions.
Yeah, I saw that.
Through.
Very good questions.
So feel free to ask questions, and I'm just going to read. And then if we've got time, we can do another article as well. Not a problem. All right. So let's go. Article number 4, written in 1984. Rabash, "They Helped Everyone His Friend." We must understand how one can help his friend. Is this matter specifically when there are rich and poor, wise and fools, weak and strong? But when all are rich, smart, or strong, etc., how can one help another? We see that there is one thing that is common to all, the mood. It is said, "A concern in one's heart, let him speak of it with others." This is because, with regard to feeling high-spirited, neither wealth nor erudition can be of assistance. Rather, it is one person who can help another by seeing that one's friend is low. It is written, "One does not deliver oneself from imprisonment." Rather, it is one's friend who can lift his spirit. This means that one's friend raises him from his state into a state of liveliness. Then one begins to reacquire strength and confidence of life and wealth, and he begins as though his goal is now near him. It turns out that each and every one must be attentive and think how he can help his friend raise his spirit, because in the matter of spirits, anyone can find a needy place in one's friend that he can fill. Okay, so that's about it, pretty much half a page. But let's go over it paragraph by paragraph and detail it out a little bit. Okay? We must understand how one can help his friend. Is this matter specifically when there are rich and poor, wise and fools, weak and strong? But when all are rich, smart or strong, etc., how can one help another? So Rabash in the first paragraph is immediately separating corporeality, like the things that we have as corporeal traits, with our spiritual endeavor. Okay, so if we're all smart, if we're all rich and strong, what is the one thing that we have in common? Okay, how are we going to help each other? Suppose we have a group of people where everyone's rich, everyone's strong, everybody's a hero. Okay, so how are we going to help each other out? I mean, if we're all in that category of strong, rich, powerful, there's really nothing we can do for each other, because we're all, we're all in a good state, right?
Why even talk to each other?
Exactly, because I got everything I want. Why do I need you? Okay, so there must be something that this group is seeking to do which is beyond all those corporeal things. So let's see what that is. We see that there is one thing that is common to all, the mood. It is said, concerning one's heart, let him speak of it with others. This is because with regard to feeling high-spirited, neither wealth nor erudition can be of assistance. Okay, so if we were somehow miraculously all rich and powerful and smart, which is not pretty likely in a Kabbalistic group.
I was thinking about it, but I just forgot about it today.
Okay. Which I don't see it ever happening in a Kabbalistic group, but let's just for a moment think that we were all having a great life and everybody's rich and healthy and what have you. We have everything. There's one thing that all of us have in common, and that is we can all have a bad day. Okay, we can all have a bad day. We can all feel bad. We can all be saddened by an event, despite the fact that in corporeality we might not be lacking anything. So a lot of the times, actually, a lot of people who have everything, wealth, money, power, sometimes also, not sometimes, a lot of the times they also feel a lot of emptiness and sorrow and sadness in life. So it doesn't really matter where you are in life, whether you're poor, rich, strong or weak. At the end of the day, everybody has something to be sad about. Everybody has something to feel bad, miserable, hopeless about something. So a poor person might be sad and miserable because he doesn't have much to eat, but a rich person might be sad and miserable because he's I don't know, God forbid, has a fatal illness, So, or he has a family problem, or a poor person might have issues. He might be feeling bad because he doesn't have shelter or proper housing or healthcare or whatever. And the rich person, he's got all the money he needs, but he can't get out of the sickness that he's got, and his days are limited. So we can't really judge or say, right or wrong or good or bad about anyone or anything, really. It's all, from a different perspective. So Rabash is saying very nicely here that all these things, you got to put them aside. Because at the end of the day, all those things concerning corporeal things are irrelevant, because you can, the Creator can give you a really, a little pinch and we'll all be just, shattered. So the
It doesn't take much, you know.
Exactly.
It doesn't take much to push either way, one way or another. So, very true.
So there's one thing, though, we can all help each other out. Okay, so consider, well, since we're a Kabbalistic group, we are bound to have problems. It's one thing a Kabbalist cannot run away from or get out of is tight knots. Okay, like a tight spot. So what we need to do here, well, this is specifically so, and it needs to happen that way. And it's a good thing, actually, because this is exactly how you feel, how you build friendships. Okay, so imagine you got this childhood friend, and you grew up together. You know, you had hard days together, good days together, bad days together. You know, you had a lot of experiences together. You grew up together, so you have this special connection, right? So specifically, with a group of Kabbalists, we're in this environment where we want to always connect more and more and more, so that this connection can turn into brotherly love. Okay, and that brotherly love is very important simply because you begin to think of the other person more than yourself. And the thing that we should be doing in order to do that, Rabbi says, is to actually take care of your friend. Okay, so you're looking at him and you can see from the outside he's in a low situation. So what you can do is try to uplift his spirit. And this is exactly where we can help each other out. So when it comes to feeling bad, doesn't matter how smart you are, how rich you are, none of that is going to help out. So let's see what steps we need to take. Rather, it is one person who can help another by seeing that one's friend is low. So I have to actually look out, don't I? I have to kind of keep an eye on my friends. I've got to make sure if they're in a good mood or not. I've got to suss them out, feel them. I've got to make sure I'm checking them out. It's like I worry about them. Okay, and I want to make sure everything is good. So if I don't care about them, or if I don't want to care about them, then there's no way I'm going to recognize if my friend is having a good day or a bad day. I won't know, because I'm just neutral towards him. So what I have to do in order for me to see that my friend is low, first of all, I've got to make sure I'm looking after him. He's got to feel like he's got his back covered. I've got to feel like I got my back covered from my friends. So everybody's supporting each other, and everybody's looking out for each other. And only when we're looking out for each other can I see that, well, Anthony's not like the old Anthony yesterday. So he's obviously got something not quite right. Yeah?
Couple screws loose. Okay. Yeah.
So maybe he's at a bad day at work. Maybe he's not feeling well. So if I'm constantly checking my friends out, I can see their changes in mood. Okay? So then I have an opportunity to help a friend. Now, helping a friend is an important thing because it allows me to stop thinking about myself. It allows me to kind of slide out of my skin. So to look out for the friends, to make sure they're all well, is actually a good thing, not just for my friend, but also for me. Because it allows me to sneak out of this black box that I'm in. Otherwise, I will always be thinking about myself. I'll always be thinking about my personal considerations, how I want to feel good and what I want to get in life, and so on and so on. If I live in that situation, I'm just chained to myself. Never going to get spiritual that way. Spirituality means I'm exiting myself towards somebody else. So in order for me to exit myself towards somebody else, I have to find a situation. I've got to look out for situations where I can compensate or I can provide for the other person. So Rabash is saying, well, the most important thing is the mood in the group. So we all have to make sure that the group has a nice, lively, motivated, happy mode. All right? We've got to be in this nice mood together, all of us. Right then, it is written, one does not deliver oneself from imprisonment. So if Anthony's having a bad day, it means he's stuck in that box and he's never going to get out of it. That's why he's in prison.
Somebody's got to help me.
Exactly. So when you have a bad day, when you're having a bad mood, you can't get out of yourself. You're always stuck in that concern that you're in. So if you're constantly stuck in that concern, you're not going to have any opportunity to get out of your skin and to advance in spirituality. So actually, all of our spiritual advancement depends on the friends. Because one way or another, we're all going to have ups and downs in life, as we do. Okay, so we might have ups and downs at work, family, health, traffic jams, all kinds of things, natural disasters, you name it, corporeal stuff as well as spiritual things on the path. So life from both sides, both corporeal and on our spiritual development, throws at us a bunch of stuff that we need to overcome. And the only way we can overcome it is if we have the support of the group that's worried about my spiritual development. And the only way I can help them to move is also if I worry about their spiritual development. So as you can see, we're all connected to each other. There's no way a single person is going to get spiritual in life. No chance. When I'm talking about spirituality, obviously I'm talking about spirituality with respect to the definition of the wisdom of Kabbalah. Okay, so spirituality means in the wisdom of Kabbalah, in case it's the first time you hear, is I perceive the Creator because I have attained his attributes of love and bestowal. So for me, it's a whole new reality and a whole new way of existing. So according to that principle of spirituality, the only way to get out of ourselves is if when everybody's looking after everybody else, because immediately when I have a problem, I'm stuck in myself. So to get out of myself, somebody else has to help me out, and then I check out somebody else, and he checks out somebody else. Everybody's checking everybody else out. So we're kind of all constantly in this movement. Okay, the group is constantly in this waves. So we're just constantly moving together and helping each other out. So everybody kind of gets out of their own box. So we all help each other come out of this prison that we're in called self-love. So it says, one does not deliver oneself from imprisonment. That's why we need friends. Rather, it is one's friend who can lift his spirit. Okay? So, if Anthony's having a bad day, the rest of us have to look after him, make sure we do things that he likes. What do you like to do? Go out for a beer?
Yeah.
Yeah, see, there you go. I know what he likes. Why? Because we're good mates. Okay?
Yeah, buddy, beer and hamburgers.
Exactly. So when he's having a bad day, there's a nice little place round the corner. Okay, we go there, have a nice little beer, and then some burgers and chips, and that's happiness food.
Yeah.
Okay, we might regret it the next day with a bit pumped up in a negative way.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
However, that's
I'm working on it.
However, though, it's enough to get yourself out of that mode. Okay, so if we all understand that, our development, our moving forward really depends on this nice, lively environment, we can always find ways to kind of help each other out and constantly move forward with happiness. Because advancing in spirituality, in the wisdom of Kabbalah with happiness is very critical. Because think about it. We're trying to get close to the Creator. Okay? And obviously we should be happy about it. Okay, imagine you're going to somebody's house and you really love them. Okay, so there's obviously this joy in you because you're going to somebody that you really love and you want to be with, and so on. So you're naturally happy about it. So when we're studying the wisdom of Kabbalah and spirituality, sometimes when we're in a down mood because of life, anything can happen, right? So we're in these ups and downs all the time. When the group helps you, then you can find that point of happiness to advance in spirituality once again. Because otherwise, what good is moving forward if we're trying to get to the Creator in a bad mood? Okay, it's just not logical. Imagine you're trying to go to your friend's house and you're not happy about it. Well, why would you go?
You don't want to go over there and bring everybody down.
Exactly. You don't even want to go there.
Yeah.
Let alone bring
Stay in the house
down.
and hide.
Exactly. So moving forward in spirituality can also be only through happiness. So each of us giving each other a good mood, happiness, joyful times and environments, a motivated, uplifted spirit is very, very important. And each of us should really pay attention to that. Now, I'm mentioning it and underlining it a lot because at the Congress, it'll be an opportunity for us to play this game, right, live with thousands of people. So we're going to be in this amazing environment and we're going to have a first-hand opportunity to apply what we learned and really reap the benefits of it. So this is why this article is very important, because as you try to do this practically, you'll find that it brings back to you far more benefit than normally by studying on your own. Studying on your own, if you don't have a group around you, it'll be very slow. Okay, so this is why we need to use technology and so forth to connect with each other, at least, at least at the, what do you call it? At least at the, no, what was that word in English? I forgot. At least at the virtual level, that's it. At the virtual level. Oh, why did I forget that? I'm using it every day. So at least you need to connect virtually online to have some kind of connection. But when you do it physically with some friends around you or at a congress with a lot of people around you, then you get this opportunity to get a lot of great feedback and get a lot of self-awareness of the things that you're going through, which are really critical for spiritual development. So you can really speed up your development when you're physically at a congress or you have a group around you where you're constantly working together.
A congress gives you a different feeling. It's because you, especially when you study virtually, because when you actually get to be with the people from all around the world connected in such an atmosphere, it gives a different feel to the study. When you leave the congress, you go back to wherever you come from, because people come from all over the world, but you go back with something. Mm-hmm. You go back with something really special. And it's not that you come to take, but it just happens that you walk away with something very, very unique.
Yeah, you just get filled up. It's like you just fill your cup up and you're like completely fulfilled. And obviously you take that back to your group when you go back. So all of a sudden you were like, in one level, and all of a sudden you kind of like jumped up to the next level. So it's a lot of progress done in a short amount of time due to the intensity. So in a short amount of time, because we're so intensely working together, even though it's only a few days, what happens is you just have this huge advancement. Okay. Let's move a few more paragraphs forward. This means that one's friend raises him from his state into a state of liveliness. Then one begins to reacquire strength and confidence of life and wealth, and he begins as though his goal is now near him. Okay, so through the friends we can once again get motivated, have strength, power to move forward. It's kind of like working out in a gym. Sometimes you don't want to go to the gym, okay? Lately, I don't want to go to the gym at all. It's been quite a while.
It's been, a little bit longer than
as you can probably see. So why is that? Okay, why is that? Why are we all of a sudden slack about it? Well, because we don't have any motivation to go. Okay, I'm going to go there. I'm going to have to lift some weights. I'm going to do this. I'm going to, it's just, it becomes burdensome. But if I had a buddy with me, right, if there was another guy for like 3 or 4 guys really motivated, and we said, we're going to get fit, we're going to get ready for the summer kind of thing, or that kind of thing. Okay?
Yeah.
I'm just giving that as an example. My
some kind of goal ahead of you?
That's right. Okay. Not that I've got any summer days. But what happens is you have this motivation. It's like a support group around you. Okay, so all of a sudden, if one of us doesn't want to go and the others go, come on, let's go, pack up and go, 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 go. So all of a sudden, everybody's like packing up and going. So it takes actually one person to like ignite everyone, and all of a sudden we're off to the gym. Okay, theoretically speaking, that is. So this whole connection between the friends and how we can all use each other's energy to move forward in a motivated, in a high spirit way is really important, so we can just keep moving forward, all the time. Okay, and that way we can feel that we're always getting closer to the goal, and that's really important, because with the friends you'll always begin to feel that we're getting closer, another step here, another step there, and so on. Now here we go to the last paragraph. It turns out that each and every one must be attentive and think how he can help his friend raise his spirit. Because in the matter of spirits, anyone can find a needy place in one's friend that he can fill. Okay, so we just have to keep an eye out on everyone, just like we would with family. Okay, just like you cover your family's back, you're always with them, supporting them. Same with a group of Kabbalah students. They're always making sure that everybody's in a good mood, has energy, positive vibe, to actually keep moving forward and forward and forward. And as we study more and more, you're going to realize that this is really, really necessary. Okay, that we all need this done, and this is the only thing we need done. Okay, if we can all just do this is probably one of the shortest articles that Rabash wrote. I always say this is the most critical one, because if everybody in the group did this shortest article, if we all applied this, everyone would really be moving forward nicely. Okay, so some of the times though we have difficulty in applying the things that Rabash advises us to do, so it's a bit of a bummer, but this short article is the only thing we actually need to do to help each other out. Okay, so if we're all attentive towards the friends, if we're all making sure, just checking them out that they're doing okay, and asking them how they're doing, is everything good? You need any help, you need any support, just to ask. Most of the time they'll just say, no man, I'm good. But even if you just ask them, it's this thing called, you're giving them this insurance, like assurance, or even, you're like insuring them. Okay, you guys are insured. If anything happens, I'm there. So this assurance that people get from the others is actually, even though you don't have anything, you might not need anything, it just gives you this confidence. It gives you this good feeling that your friends are thinking about you. And that's really a good feeling to keep on the side. You just feel like there are people around you that care about you. And this way you can find more and more strength then to think about others as well. Because when you see that they're thinking about you, you begin to think about them. Then you ask them, hey, you guys doing? How's everything? Do you guys need anything? So all of a sudden we get this environment where everybody's asking about how the other person is, and nobody's asking himself, well, what's going to happen to me? Okay, and that's exactly how a Kabbalistic group should be working. I shouldn't have to ask myself, well, what's going to happen to me? Why? Because all my friends are asking about me, and I'm asking about all the others, and everybody's asking about everybody else. So you naturally feel like you don't need anything.
Everybody's got everybody covered.
Exactly. So this motion is actually what spirituality is how it's brought about. All of a sudden you're in this environment where everybody's thinking about somebody else. All right? Any questions?
No questions yet. No.
Okay, great. Okay, no, maybe not great, but let's see what we've got. So we still have time. I think we can still do another article. Now, what does the rule, love thy friend as thyself, give us? Well, we can either do that, or we can do another article, which is a short one too. Let's do another short article from Rabash called Love of Friends. Okay. Actually, this one's a bit of a complicated one. Okay, let's do Love of Friends from page 21. No, we'll just do a little bit of it. Okay. Let's see what we have. What is love thy friend as thyself? So let's explain that. Okay? Okay, so I'm going to read from page 24. This is the last paragraph, last page of this article. Okay, or the bottom of page 23. There is a counsel. There is one counsel. Okay, so one advice for people who study in the wisdom of Kabbalah. Several individuals must come together with the desire to abandon self-love, but without the sufficient force and appreciation for bestowal to become independent without help from the outside. So all of us, what is it basically saying? Here it's saying that a group of Kabbalists are people who come together and they all agree on one thing. We're going to abandon self-love. We don't want to love ourselves. We want to love other people. Okay? That's our goal. However, though, we must do it only together. So a group must be independent. A group of Kabbalists cannot be dependent on another group. Not financially, not spiritually, or nothing. A group must only be cooking within itself, in its own pot. Right? So we must be independent. So the whole group, the whole Bnei Baruch world group, is a group that only takes care. So we're taking care of our own spirituality and also helping others who want to learn the wisdom of Kabbalah as well. But we're not dependent on any organization or anyone on a financial basis or for our spiritual development. Why? Because everybody in Bnei Baruch who wants to study and attain spirituality has come to the agreement that we have all come together and decided that we want to leave self-love in order to attain the love of others, so that attribute can actually bring us to the sensation of the Creator. Okay? And if we were dependent on somebody, we could never ever move forward in spirituality. It's a very, very important topic. Okay, so we must be independent without help from the outside. So only the group can help the group. Now, if these individuals annul before one another, since each of them has at least potential love of the Creator, though they cannot actually keep it, then by each joining the society and annulling oneself before it, they become one body. All right, so each of us only has a spark in the heart, a dot in the heart. So it's very difficult for a person to nullify self-thought, self-consideration, self-love. Because every day we're going around thinking about what we're going to get, what I want to do, what I want to get in life. So we're constantly in that system of self-thought, self-consideration, self-love. So in order for us to get out of it, we're going to need some help. And that's where the group comes in. For example, if there are 10 people in that body, it has 10 times more power than a single person. However, there is a condition. When they gather, each of them should think that he has now come for the purpose of annulling self-love. It means that he will not consider how to satisfy his will to receive now, but will think as much as possible only of the love of others. This is the only way to acquire the desire and the need to acquire a new quality called the will to bestow. Right, so all of us have come together with a common goal, and now all of us must act and do things in a certain way, which is to annul self-love. So let's read this again. So it means that the person, all of us individually, must not consider how to satisfy our own desires, but we will think as much as possible only the love of others. So this is actually the only thing we need to do. That's what Rabash is saying. He's saying here, this is the only way to acquire the desire and the need to acquire a new quality called the will to bestow. Wow, that was all easy. In one sentence, he is explaining to us how to attain the attribute of bestowal. Shall I read that again? It means that one will not consider how to satisfy his will to receive now, but will think as much as possible only of the love of others. So I just have to think about the love of others. He's not even saying do anything. Obviously thinking is doing, but at a corporeal level. I just have to think about it. What do you think about that?
Interesting.
Interesting. Why?
Very much so.
Because thought increases your desire. Okay, the thought, the thinking process that we have, it actually accompanies our desire. So if I have a desire for something, I will always think about how to getting it done, right? How I'm going to fulfill that desire. So if you have a desire, let's say, to find a new job, your mind is thinking about always, where can I find a new job? Where can I find a better job? Where can I do, where can I get something better? So if I'm always thinking about how to love others, then this little dot in the heart that I have is going to start to grow. Thinking about, wow, I want to love somebody.
So that thought, it actually becomes an action.
Exactly. The thought becomes it like becomes the fuel to the spark. Okay, so all of a sudden you're fueling that dot in the heart and making a flame out of it. So by thinking about it, how to love others, you're actually growing your desire, that dot in the heart, to bestow. This is the only way to acquire the desire and the need to acquire a new quality called the will to bestow. And from love of others, one can reach love of the Creator, meaning wanting to give contentment to the Creator. It turns out that only in this does one obtain a need and understanding that bestowing is important and necessary. And this comes to him through love of friends. Then we can talk about fear, meaning that one is afraid that he will not be able to bestow contentment to the Creator, and this is called fear. So what we have to do is just think about the others, care about them, think about loving them, and that will actually bring us to the love of friends. And if we come to the love of the friends, it's saying, well, that's it. You actually, through that, you'll come to the love of the Creator as well, because loving somebody outside is no different than loving the Creator, because at the end of the day, what are we attaining? We're attaining an attribute. That's what we're attaining. We're attaining the attribute of love. So it doesn't really matter. As long as I've attained that attribute of love, I'm going to love Anthony, I'm going to love the friends there on Zoom, I'm going to love the Creator, I'm going to love everybody. Why? Because that has now become your nature. So that way you don't differentiate between people. All of a sudden, everybody in your eyes is someone you can love, including the Creator. It turns out that only in this does one obtain a need and understanding that bestowing is important and necessary, and this comes to him through love of friends. So all the things that I need to attain in spirituality, the importance of love of others, attaining the attribute of love, wanting to love others, everything is just boils down to how I integrate myself into the group and how I begin to work with them in the group in a mutually reciprocal way, so that we're constantly in this motion. Okay, it's like this boiling pot, okay, with food, like casserole. So,
sounds yummy.
All right, so we're all boiling, we're all cooking in there, so we're constantly in this motion. Okay. The primary basis upon which the building of sanctity can be erected is the rule of love thy friend. By that one can acquire the need to bestow contentment upon the Creator. After that, there can be fear, meaning fear of perhaps not being able to give contentment to the Creator. When actually past the gate of fear, he can now come to faith, because faith is the vessel for instilling the divinity, as it is explained in several places. So here Rabash is explaining to us, we've got a few steps along the way. But the important thing here is the step is love of others. Because if I come to the love of others, I come to the love of the Creator. Then he's saying, listen, if you come to that point, you'll also begin to build inside of you this thing called fear. You know, sometimes people talk about fear of God, okay, as if it's something really terrible, okay? It's not. So fear of the Creator means that I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to do something good for the other. I'm afraid that I'm not going to be able to bestow to the friends. I'm afraid I might not be able to love them like I should. Okay, so that is actually the fear that they're talking about when they're talking about the fear of God, the fear of Creator in the books of Kabbalah. So God is nothing to be feared about. Okay, so there's no such thing where he's going to be burning us or whatever, okay, in some nasty place called hell. So he's saying the fear of God is actually when a person is afraid, he's concerned that he might not be able to love others like he should. Okay, so that's a nice fear to have. And if he has both of those, love and fear together, then he actually builds his faith. Because one of them is right line, one of them is the left line, and together he builds faith. And faith is what we all need to build, because actually that's the full connection, that's the full adhesion actually with the Creator. Because faith doesn't mean like in religions, I believe in something. That's not faith. Faith is the attainment, the acquirement of the attribute of the Creator and applying it in a correct way. That's what faith is. Faith means that I am like the Creator at a certain level. And full faith means I am like the Creator in love and bestowal to the maximum degree that I can be in. So faith isn't the same thing as religious people think on the outside. In the wisdom of Kabbalah, it's different. Faith means that I've attained the attribute of Creator, of the Creator, and I'm actually living in that state. We thus find that there are three rules before us. The first rule is that of Rabbi Akiva's, being love thy friend as thyself. Prior to that, there is nothing that provides a person with the fuel enabling him to modify his situation even a bit, as this is the only way to exit from self-love towards love of man and the feeling that self-love is a bad thing. Okay, so that's the first thing we've got to do. Love our friends. Rule number one. Now, after that, we come to the second rule, which is the fear. Without fear, there is no room for faith. As Bala Salam says, finally, we come to the third rule, which is faith. After all the above mentioned three rules have been acquired, one comes to sense the purpose of creation, which is to do good to his creations. So once a person attains love and fear together, then he can come to faith, which is actually the sensation of the Creator doing good to everyone in reality. That he's constantly applying this goodness to reality, which we don't feel at the moment. Okay, because life is quite, how would you frame it?
It has its ups and downs. It has its days.
It has its days, that's right. So we have a lot of, like, right now we've got the coronavirus, in China. That's really, a big concern. We had the fires in Australia. Okay, so that was like, really, hectic. And now we've got, earthquakes in the Middle East happening. And then we've got, floods in New Zealand. Okay, some parts of Europe and America are freezing. Okay, absolutely freezing.
Extremely freezing. My mother sent me pictures yesterday.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And I thought she was in Texas.
She's in Minnesota.
Oh.
And over 12 inches of snow they got.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay, so there you go. So the whole world is going through hectic stuff all at the same time. So we're burning, we're freezing, we're getting sick, we've got earthquakes. It's like the whole thing is a big mess, okay? And so this is why the whole world is like a cooking pot. Everybody's like cooking. So all these outside pressures are also pushing humanity to move forward. And because we're not in that same dimension as the creator, we're feeling like everything that's happening to us in a negative way. We just don't feel, we just don't feel comfortable. Life doesn't allow us to feel that comfort zone, which is constantly pressured and pushed about by certain things, whether internally or externally. So in a nutshell, our goal, in order to attain the goal, which is to attain the creator and to live and exist like the creator, there are the first few rules that we have to do. Is love of others, and then there's fear, and then through that we come to faith. And how we come to the love of others is because of that first article that we read, how to help each other out, that we're always trying to think of the others, helping each other out, how we can benefit the friends more, so we can be in a good environment and move nice and smoothly together in a fast and really strong way. All right, so that's how it is. Any questions?
As of now, no questions.
Okay, so we've got no questions. All right, dear friends. So we're not going to hold you any longer, if you've got no questions. But if you do have questions, you can always send them to asia@kabbalah.academy or africa@kabbalah.academy, and we'll be more than happy to help you with any queries you have. If you're coming to the Congress, great. These lessons hopefully will prepare you on how to approach and get closer towards the Congress, and hopefully we'll see you at the Congress. If you're coming, and if you watched us behind the screens and you're coming to the Congress, let us know, okay? When you see us, come up to us and say hi so we can meet you as well, because we can't see you there if you're on the other side of the screen. In the interim though, have a great evening or a day. All the best. See you next week.
Bye-bye.